Hey, this is just a reminder to click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you and enjoy. Well, today's Wednesday, December 23rd. I'm back in the same place I have been for the last 2 days. I found two big bucks around in here, two separate ones, so you can tell they're tracks apart and they both left different horn marks in the snow. So there's two good ones here anyways. The conditions today are super crunchy. What we got going on? Not great tracking conditions, but it is what it is for the last day. So going up in here to see what we can find. I'm just going to try to sneak around a little more today. If I find a track, we'll follow it, but do the same thing we do every day. Here we go. 2 days previous to this, I was tracking a buck in the same place, and he does the same thing. He goes off to the left through the greens. Since it's crunchy, I decide I'm gonna head straight to the top and try to meet him up there in the same area where this other buck went, and all the deer seem to want to travel. I get to this point, I'm almost to the top. I've got 30 yards to be able to see over the top and into the hardwoods, and I can hear a deer walking, so at this point I can't really go too much farther. I get over next to this tree and I waited out here for 20 minutes while I can hear it walking until I can't hear it anymore. Track up this barn. He was coming up the same way he was. He's coming up the same way he was 2 days ago. So I made a loop up on top here, and I could hear him walking. He walked like, I don't know, 70 yards from me, just over top of a knob. It sucked. I couldn't see him. I could hear him walking. And I just followed his track to right here, and he's headed up on top of that ridge right there. That's where his tracks are going. So I know I'm close to him, or got close to him. He could hear me coming anyways. I'll show you. So he walked up over here, walked up here, walked up and stood right here. And that's the direction I came from right there. He was just standing here, he could hear me. Walked off that way. All of a sudden I see a deer out of the corner of my eye. I put the scope on it and realize it's just a lone doe.
caught up with a bunch of does. Found a doe that must be coming. He ran her all over like in circles in here, and I've been like an hour just trying to sort him out because he's chased her everywhere. So he seems to have her separated from everybody else and headed into these hemlocks. So hopefully they get one here and start walking and bed down or something. That's the update. I'm sweaty. So I got him sorted out for a little bit, but he went back to chasing that doe around and around and around and around all over in here. All the tracks are kind of matching. They ran on different trails and other trails, and lost his track is the deal there. I've been 45 minutes or so trying to sort him out, and I'm just going to take off and see if I can find another buck or catch him going across country. I don't really know. They're kind of heading this direction, so my best chance to kill him was this morning. I was 62 yards. I marked where I was standing and where he walked, and he was over on the other top of this knob. And I mean, that's just how it goes, I guess. Sometimes it's unfortunate. Another 30 yards higher, and I'd have seen him, but it was crunchy, and I was just making my way to the top. I picked his track up this morning, and he was headed up the same way he did 2 days ago. So I was like, well, I'm gonna, rather than follow him in the crunchy stuff, knowing he'd be able to hear me, I made a loop up on top trying to catch him, and I was just a little behind. Otherwise I had him. I'll explain how that was. So let me find something that's a good example here. Here, this will work right here. So this right here represents the hill that I'm on, like a knob that I walked up. So I walk up, I'm coming from this way, I pick his track up, he makes his way around here, I proceed to come up here and make my way up, and I'm just about up on the top, and it's crunchy so I can hear him. So he had apparently made a loop somewhere. So anyways, I'm here and I can hear the deer walking, and he comes right down the other side of this and then makes a loop and goes off like that. So I was here, he was here. I couldn't see him because there's high ground between us. And I marked where I was standing. I marked where his tracks were. And according to the Onyx or whatever, you can draw a straight line distance. It was 62.5 yards. That's how far apart we were. And I could hear him. There wasn't anything I could do. I didn't want to walk to the top because he'd walk along and stop and walk along and stop. And it just wasn't gonna work. It was just, I mean, I was 5 minutes from being on that top or so, or maybe not even, maybe even a couple minutes. So anyways, that's how the day's gone, and we're gonna take off and see if I can either catch up with him if they made a loop or something, or find another buck. That's what we got going on. I mean, I've been frustrated the last couple days, but I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I mean, you're hunting a big buck all day long. You know you got him in front of you. It's not like you're sitting there waiting for something to happen. Every day's an adventure, that's for sure. So from here, I take off and go a mile or a mile and a half. I come over the top of a ridge, and all of a sudden I see a couple guys in blaze orange. So I whistle at them, get their attention. At that point, I realized they're dragging a deer. I had heard a gunshot in the morning, 10 o'clock-ish, something like that. But it was a long ways from where I was. At this point, I'm between 3 and 4 miles from where I started the day.
I just got down. I hit another boot track. I said, well, I'm not going to go the same way he's going. I turned, and I thought I jumped him right there. I just saw some movement, and then all of a sudden I noticed he was coming at me. So he got out in the open there, and I let him have it. And
awesome.
I'm right there. Yeah.
Good deal.
It was, come to find out, it was him that
I was tracking
bumped him. That stinks.
Yeah.
And he was nice enough to help me drag. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys aren't even together?
No.
No.
Oh.
That's the thing. It's like it's public land, dude. Like I said, it could have went the other way. He could have jumped it towards me, and that's just part of.
No, I mean that's part of. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that come back in here though, right?
That's
I mean,
right. That's right.
I mean, you want a hand?
Well, geez, I don't want you guys to have to quit hunting because of me. That's.
Well, you know what?
I
I was
do have a
thinking,
guy
if I
coming.
kill one back here, like if somebody ran into somebody, maybe they'd give me a hand.
That's
You know what I mean? You
right.
never know. So
I just kind of think it's all part of it, like help each other out.
yeah, man. I mean, that's what it's about. It's a beautiful buck, anyway. So
Yes, thank you.
No, I don't think you want to go down through that. I'd keep going. I'd stay on this deer trail, personally. They probably took the easiest path. So it's 4 o'clock. I ran into those guys. One of the guys was from the Big Woods Bucks crew from Maine. He shot a big buck that I tracked on. What's today? Today's Wednesday, so Monday. Big buck I tracked on Monday. I knew it was him. He had a short toe on one of his feet. It ended up being his back right foot. He ended up killing him. He had a nice, one side was real nice. The other side, he only had 2 points on. He had one giant long main beam and a point like this long on the left side. Nice buck. Probably 180 pounds, I'd say. I got to check out the Woodsman's Arms muzzle loader. Man, I think Carry's awesome. That's what that guy had. He killed that buck with. I was pretty impressed with how light it was and how well it carried. I mean, I'd obviously like to shoot one, I guess, but awesome gun. I'm sure the other guy felt much worse because he saw him. He just couldn't, so he jumped this, or he was tracking this buck and ended up taking up and going across the side hill, he said. He saw his whole body, just couldn't see that see if he had a rack or what he was, and then he went over top of that hill and the other guy shot him, so I'm sure he's feeling worse, for sure. But you know what? He was a good outdoorsman. He helped this other, he was already helping this guy drag the buck. I mean, he pushed this guy the buck. They don't know each other. That's good to see. So we all helped out, helped this guy get his buck out of the woods. He's pretty happy. I mean, they got a 6-hour drive back to Maine, so it's a long trip. Much longer for them. That's it. Thanks for watching.